Hey everyone, it's Jack from WhatCulture.com pulling double duty, yo. Stay humble, because of course Simon Miller was absent yesterday, probably in the gym as I said, and now it's time for SmackDown, ups and downs. Was it a good show? Was it a bad show? It is of course our Independence Day special as well, so let's keep that in mind. The ropes were not blue, they were red, white and blue. Very visual loveliness going on all over the place. Lady Garcia sang a little song as well in honor of America's birthday, so that sounded so patronising and I didn't mean it to. Your little birthday, lads. So without further ado, let's crack on with all the ups and all the downs from SmackDown Live. Who better to open the show on the 4th of July than the returning John Cena, and he explained his contract status. He is now, of course, a free agent. He's not tied to Raw or SmackDown in particular, and he said it's because he knows he's not got long left in his career and he wants to face the very best. And then he named some of the examples of the very best. Lesnar, Reigns got a big pop when he mentioned him. He mentioned Jinder Mahal, Orton, who we've seen him face a lot of times. But he mentioned basically all the main eventers, and he wants to face at least some of them before he goes out. This would have gotten up, but it did. Oh, f JBL, I forgot that as well. F JBL. But anyway, Cena would have gotten up if it wasn't for what happened next, which was Rusev's return, which seems like a good thing on paper, but let's take a look at why it wasn't quite that. Now, I probably should have realised that on Independence Day there'd be a lot of old school good guy American Stars and Stripes babyface versus evil foreign heel. I didn't realise it would be this bad, because Rusev came out, even he seemed a little bit in his delivery not fully behind everything. He was kind of like doing the whole anti-America shtick. Cena was doing the whole, if you try and push us around, we're American, and then I was just sat there thinking, we've seen this exact feud already. Cena's faced Rusev before, and it was a WrestleMania feud, no less. So for unoriginality, and for just the fact that you could see that Rusev's heart wasn't quite in it, I'm going to give this a down, unfortunately. Next up, a very exciting match between Chad Gable and AJ Styles, the winner of which would be allowed into the US Championship #1 contendership Battle Royal at the end of the show. Quite a mouthful. Yeah, the reasoning behind this was solid. Kevin Owens has beaten both of these guys, and despite that, he was aggrieved that they were both allowed in the Battle Royal. So Daniel Bryan said, fine, I'll pit them against each other, and then the loser's not in the Battle Royal. And it makes sense, and it's good that Owens fears both Styles and Gable as well. It really puts Gable over. Poor Jason Jordan, because they really do seem to be preparing Gable for a singles run, and if this match is anything to go by, then he is more than ready. The pair had just one of those instant sort of connections. I've never seen them wrestle before, they might well have done, but it was just a really good little match. Gable lost, AJ won, which was the right decision as well. This unquestionably gets an up. Next up, the Carmelabration, as James Ellsworth called it. They both came out to the ring, Carmella with her Money in the Bank briefcase, Ellsworth came out as well, and they basically bragged and cut a heel promo and said we're more important than America. And then Independence Day, then Naomi came out with a lovely glowing belt that I had to fight my very best urges not to give an automatic down to, but I'm not going to, even though it was pretty shocking. Then Daniel Bryan came out and basically just said, look, Ellsworth, to punish you for last week, you're not only banned from the arena, but he fined him $10,000 and suspended him for 30 days without pay. Quite how this is supposed to affect a baller on the level of James Ellsworth, I'm not certain. However, he did sell the kind of disappointment of it really well. It was a bit of a nothing segment, just to remind you of everyone who was there, but I had no problems with it. This also gets it up. Then we had a sort of less than 10-second match between Lana and Naomi for the belt. Naomi made her tap out almost instantly, and then Tamina came out and sort of ushered Lana to the back. They seem to be aligned now. Tamina, what about your days in Team Bad with Naomi? You were best buds. Even when Sasha left, you were buds for a bit. Then you both got injured. This unfortunately gets a down. I had no problem with Naomi beating Lana in pretty short order the last time they faced. This time, I do have a bit of a problem with it, just because we've already seen Lana get squashed once. This was a proper burial, and I just don't understand the meaning behind Lana coming back and immediately being #1 contender if she was going to get beaten so decisively. It gets a down. Hopefully, though, this leads to better things, and hopefully her alliance with Tamina helps get them both over. Next up, it was the segment featuring my boy, and Phil's boy as well behind the camera. Do you know who it was?
No.
It was Wale. Wale was, oh yeah. He was chairing a rap battle between the Usos and the New Day. And to be fair to him, and you know what, even though he didn't reply to me on Twitter or whatever, and he did reply to Ross, but it's not important. Despite that, Wale did a good job. One of the better celebrity appearances in recent memory, certainly better than the f***ing Ball family. He didn't really have a hard act to follow, but you could tell that Wale is genuinely passionate about WWE. He is. He loves it. He's one of the kind of biggest celebrity fans of WWE, and he, you know, did himself proud here. And he was rocking a sweet NWO Wolfpack shirt. That's quite an amazing choice in 2017. I liked it. I thought it was good. Onto the rap battle itself. Apparently the Usos and the New Day did not spit their bars to one another beforehand. It was all a surprise to let the reactions be authentic and stuff. And you could tell there was a genuine sense of competition between the two. And personally, the Usos, I think, had the better bars. They made one about Paige. They said, let's keep it PG, Big E, or something like that. Let's not make it R-rated. No, let's keep it PG, Big E, like you know you should. Let's not make it R-rated like your boy Xavier Woods. And everyone went, oh! Like there's like an audible pop. Everyone in the crowd just loses their minds. It's amazing. Really good. Gets an up for that alone. The segment generally gets an up. The only gripe I have is that Wale, you know, at the end went, and your winner's the New Day, and then the Usos were like, what? And then they ran them out the ring and all the good guys stood tall. But, you know, celebrities usually side with the faces. I've got no complaints with that really, but the Usos definitely won. Next up, not really a match between Randy Orton and Aiden English. Orton just battered him, but it gets an up because I've got no real problems with this. Aiden English sneak attacked Randy Orton during his, you know, his thing on the ropes, which we've not seen since that house show in South Africa that time. Was it South Africa? Where the kid just low blowed him. Oh yeah. Jumped it, yeah. But Aiden English did it, you know, with consent. And then they kind of had a bit of a hardcore brawl on the outside almost. The referee was like, I'm going to disqualify you, Randy, if you keep going. Orton looked at him with like the steps in his hand and went, and just hit Aiden English, got disqualified. Really sells the fact that he's really aggrieved with not being able to beat Jinder Mahal, which makes sense. So I'm going to give that kind of match, I suppose it was a match, I'm going to give that an up. But what I'm going to give it down to is what happened next, because Jinder Mahal came out and basically the same thing happened that we saw at the start of the show. And yes, it's Independence Day, but when Rusev comes out and does an anti-America shtick, then for Jinder to come out and do it as well, and then for Randy Orton to come back with that same old tired babyface excuse that they always use, which is like, Jinder will say like, people don't like me because of the colour of my skin and because of my heritage and whatever, and then Randy Orton goes, no, it's not because of that, they hate you because you're a jackass. And that's just like a white guy telling like a minority that racism doesn't exist, which is staggeringly arrogant to be fair. Yeah, Jinder's promos are getting better and better week on week, but I can't give this an up. Next up we had the Fashion Files, but it was like an undercover Fashion Files. It was brilliant. I don't know if any other tag team in WWE could make these segments work as well as the Fashion Police do, but basically they went undercover to find out who trashed their office. Their suspect this week was Ty Dillinger, and he was interviewed by Tanae Young, which was Tyler Breeze in a wig. It was wonderful. As she was interviewing him, Fandango was in the back, dressed as like a maintenance guy, fiddling with a ladder, and then Ty finished the interview and went, Tanae, this week you're looking at 10, which I thought was really good. He didn't get the disguise at all. Turned round, saw Fandango and went, oh, sorry, Fandango. Fandango's like, why did my disguise not work? It was all great comedy, and I don't even mind this storyline dragging on past the point of its logical conclusion just because it's so good. Get it up. Next up, another backstage segment that wasn't quite as good. The Kanellis spouses were there talking about how great love is and how, you know, oh no, love it and all that. That wasn't playing, but their theme tune sounds like a kind of ballad, doesn't it? And then Sami Zayn was there and he interrupted them by accident because he was stretching before the match, before the Battle Royal. And then he came over and went, sorry guys, and then started rambling about Huey Lewis and the news a bit. It was one of those ones where they'd given him something to say and told him to just ramble, and bless Sami, he tried his best, but the segment didn't really work. And I just don't want to see a feud between Zayn and Mike Kanellis, because neither can lose. Zayn loses too much anyway. Kanellis is new. Gets it down. And finally, the Battle Royal. I read a few reviews online that said the Battle Royal was like pretty good or like mediocre. I thought it was really good. Like there was a lot of little stories going on. Mojo turned on Zack Ryder. He betrayed him and threw him out the ring when his back was turned. Like the Hype Bros, maybe the latest in a long line of tag teams to break up. Whereas conversely, Fandango caught Tyler Breeze when he was thrown out the ring, so they're still loyal to each other. That was really good. And then there was a very intriguing final three. It was Zayn, Styles and Ty Dillinger, which makes me think maybe they're gearing Ty up for like a big push, which would, you know, be exciting. Ty was then eliminated. Zayn and AJ had an awesome little final standoff, including a really good spot where Zayn ran to the corner to do the haluva kick. AJ rolled out the way at the last minute. Zayn took a spill over, like all the way over the top rope and caught the rope as he fell, like Shawn Michaels. Really, really good. Eventually, Styles won with the Pele kick, knocking Zayn out the ring. He goes on to face Kevin Owens for the US Championship, and I can't believe I've recapped that whole thing in one take. F***ing go me. It gets an up. So do I. Put it up. Don't put it on the thing. So that's all for this week on SmackDown, ups and downs. I enjoyed it. Thought it was a good show. It might be a bit misleading because there's a few more, like the downs are quite close to the ups, but really I think it was a very enjoyable show. Didn't go by too long. With all the good stuff, I'm in quite a happy mood. Maybe it's because those arseholes, Adam and Plumpy, aren't back in the office yet. But they'll be back soon. And then what? And then what? I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. Phil/Hobo Joe behind the camera, and I'll see you soon.
Friday, July 7th, in Manchester. It's the Japanese qualifier of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. It is going to be a phenomenal night. Two of the best young wrestlers in the world, Kyle O'Reilly versus Marty Scurll. Also featuring Rampage versus Tomohiro Ishii in what promises to be an absolutely titanic brawl. The Swords of Essex put their tag championships on the line against former ROH and IWGP champions War Machine. And the qualifier itself, the stacked Japanese bracket. In the first round of the tournament, we will see Kushida versus Sho Tanaka, Bushi versus Tiger Mask, Takahashi versus Yohei Komatsu, and Jushin Thunder Liger versus Funky Weapon Taguchi. Get your tickets at ProWrestlingWorldCup.com.